This one goes out to the Saints Row Reboot fans, and hopefully they got their tampons handy. But don't worry, there's no music in this video. It's not 19 minutes because I know your attention span is very short. And to those who get where I'm coming from or are willing to listen to what I have to say, thanks in advance. Let me explain how the Saints Row Reboot is woke. So why in the month of June, companies all over the world, minus China and the Middle East, all promote Pride Month? Because it's profitable. They know that it doesn't take much to get your business. First they change their logos to rainbow colors that catch your eye, and then they lure you in with merch and little events, and you fall for it. If you were to collect data to see how many straight males from the ages 20 to 40 that played Saints Row 1 to 3, and were to collect data to see how many straight males from the ages 20 to 40 played a reboot, I bet the results wouldn't be the same. Censoring Saints Row in this reboot is what Volition is doing. Rim Jobs is now Jim Robs. Freckle Bitches is now FBs. The Dildo Bat is gone. However, Friendly Fire and Let's Pretend are oddly untouched. But who knows what else has been changed for a modern audience. Going off of the character customization videos, we saw a lot of colorful and over-the-top looking character creations, from rainbow clothing to rainbow hair, vibrant vehicles and weapons. We even saw a black male being customized to wear a trans-colored golf attire and riding a trans-colored golf cart. This is all done by design. Remember when Volition promoted Saints Row 3 and 4 with Troy Baker and Laura Bailey? Or the main voice actors for Saints Row 2's player? Remember their faces being front and center on videos or on stage? No? Because the Saints Row Reboot sure loves promoting the main voice actor for the boss, who so happens to be a black female. Surely this is not pandering. No way. This is definitely organic. Volition knows who they are catering to. Look at the interviews they've done, footage and info they've put out, and see what group of people are excited for this reboot and how hard they go at defending the reboot. Connect the dots and it'll become very clear. Most of the OG fans hyping this reboot or trying to be optimistic about it are Saints Row oriented channels. It comes to question if they truly care about the series and its quality, or if it's really about keeping their channel alive and staying on the good graces of Volition. Most of the criticism I got was people seeing the title and the thumbnail of my video and running to the comments section. They don't want a different opinion. To them, you must like what they like or else. These people don't want to have a real conversation or even really listen to what you have to say. They try to stick to one point and never address everything else. They want a gotcha moment to run with and feel good about themselves. As an example, look at Steven Crowder's Change My Mind videos and see how a majority of the people he talks to have no real arguments and don't want to have a real conversation. These companies know it's easy to get a crowd of overly emotional, low intelligent, social justice clowns to buy into the propaganda and help silence anyone that speaks out against it. It's not controversial for me, a gay guy, to not want the LGBT community to be so aggressive and intolerant with their lifestyle and views. Same applies to those who try to force religion onto others. Live your life and leave people alone. When you have trans athletes invading women's sports and gay teachers coming out to young students and explaining their sex life, I think that's going overboard and does more harm to the LGBT community than good. Then you have Volition themselves disrespecting fans on social media. They did not take kindly to the backlash the Saints Row Reboot got. They responded to a fan's tweet that gave constructive criticism in a respectful manner with a Saints Row 3 gif that said, "Haters gonna hate." Immature and tone deaf on Volition. Go look at a video by Neurotic on top 5 murdered franchises. He explains how creators destroyed beloved franchises and how they try to shift the blame onto old fans. It'll sound like what Volition has done with this reboot. Before I forget, some people would point out how the game isn't out yet, how I haven't played it, and that we only got a few trailers to go off of. To that I say, oh really? With that logic, since the game isn't out yet, and I haven't played it, thus making it impossible for me to criticize it, wouldn't that also apply to you? I mean, how can you be excited or defend the reboot if it isn't out yet and haven't played it yourselves? And no, there has not been a few trailers to go off of. We got trailers and dev diary videos from Volition themselves. We got preview videos from months ago and even recently from many sites such as IGN, GameSpot, and Game Informer, just to name a few. Plus we got info on the game on its official website and articles and interviews on the game. I think that's more than enough to go off of if you ask me. The Saints Row Reboot does not look like a game coming out in 2022. After all these years, this was the best Volition can come up with? Is the bar set that low? Are your standards that low? All this time they had, and it's this? Really? The Saints Row Reboot fans go out of their way to look on social media for posts and videos that are not kind to the reboot. I've seen it happen to other people on Twitter and YouTube. I mentioned it in my reboot rant video, and I experienced it on Twitter a while ago and just recently in my comments section. They simply want to start shit. They are used to fucking with people and getting their way. It's clear these people were not raised right. They can't counter your arguments. They talk crap and hope you ignore them to make them feel like they are right. But when you push back, they suddenly don't have a big mouth anymore and don't respond. Deep down inside, they are weak. These people will claim you are complaining, hating, and crying, yet these are the same people who try to cancel people, demand people change things to be inclusive, not offensive, or because of culture appropriation, yet trans men appropriate women's culture, and black women will sew other women's hair on their head, such as blonde weaves, also appropriating culture. So go ahead, get the reboot, enjoy it. To those who don't like the new direction and claim they don't want it, don't cave in. These companies expect existing fans to cave in and consume. Take a stand and just say no.